A very good morning to one and all. So children, today we are going to discuss the next part of the error analysis, that is combination of the error, in which we are going to study about how, if we are having the combination of errors, so how will we combine and get the final result with the help of those combinations, right? So very first in this particular category, very first we are having 4 to 5 rules which we are going to discuss in this particular topic, that is a combination of error, right? So very first rule we are just going to discuss first and the second. For the addition and the subtraction we are having the same rule, so we will study as the one rule. So rule 1 and 2 says that when two quantities are added or subtracted, the absolute error in the final result is the sum of the absolute error in the individual quantities. That means this rule says that if we are adding or subtracting the quantities that includes the error, then in the final result we have to add the absolute error for those combinations. Like if we add the two quantities x and y and we get the final result, that is z. Suppose somehow we get the errors in these two quantities, that is x and y, that error, absolute error in x quantity is delta x, absolute error in y quantity is delta y, and absolute error in z quantity is delta z. So if two individual quantity containing some errors, obviously the final result will have some error also, right? So if x having error plus delta x, absolute error, and y having delta y, so your final result will also having some error, so then the final result error will be delta z, right? So if we see the equations, we are adding the equation like both sides. If we separate the quantities with error and the without error from the both squares, so we can get x plus y plus minus, or we can write down plus delta x plus delta y, right? So these two quantities are without error, that means true values, and these are the absolute values or the absolute errors in the individual quantities. So that is the sum of the individual two quantities in which we are adding, and these are the sum of the absolute error in considering two quantities, right? And at the left side we are having z plus delta z, right? So x plus y from the equation number 1 we can write down like z. So when we place a value in place of x plus y, so z of the both side will be cancelled out, and we will only have delta z will be equals to the delta x plus delta y. Same rule will be applicable for the subtraction also. But what is the difference for that? If you are having the subtraction part for the quantities, so there will be minus sign, that means x plus delta x minus y plus delta y, right? So without error quantities will be subtracted, but still absolute error will be getting added, right? So that means अगर आपके पास यहाँ पे subtraction है तो आप क्या करेंगे, without error quantities को तो आप subtract करेंगे, that means according to the given जो भी हमारे पास ऑपरेशन दिया हुआ है सब्सट्रैक्शन का, बट जो एब्सोल्यूट एरर वाली वैल्यूज होंगी इंडिविजुअल दोनों क्वांटिटीज में, उन दोनों क्वांटिटीज को यू विल ऐड, राइट? सो वी विल हैव द सेम रिजल्ट फॉर दैट इज delta z will be equals to the delta x plus delta y, right? Now with the help of the example we can understand that suppose mass of the one particle is given to you, that is 20 plus minus 0.2 kg. So why we are writing here plus minus 2? So whenever we are representing any of the quantity, whenever we are representing any of the physical quantity with their error values, so we will always have to write down like x plus minus delta x. So what is represent? It represents that there may be some value absolute error that may be up to that value or below to that value. That means if there is written 20 plus minus 0.2, that means that basically, so if 20 plus minus 0.2 is there, so what does it mean? It means that 0.2 is an absolute error in the value, and that may be 0.2 may be added or may be subtracted. That means वो 0.2 वैल्यू above भी हो सकता है और below भी हो सकता है, right? 0.2 value. Likewise, same for the every, whenever we are just representing any of the physical quantity with their error value, so we have to write down in the plus minus sign, right? So 20 plus minus 0.2 kg and 30 plus minus 0.4 kg is the mass of the second object. So now we will have to calculate the total mass. That means we have to add the both mass. So what will we do? If we will add the both masses m1 plus m2. So what will we do? Without error, values will be added together and absolute values of the error will be added together. That means if we are getting the total mass of the particle, then that will be 20 plus 30, then plus minus 0.2 plus 0.4, right? So 20 plus 30 will be 50 and 0.2, 0.4 will be 0.6, right? According to this rule. Then now if you want to calculate the difference of the both masses, अगर आपको difference calculate करना है masses का, तो obviously from the larger value we will subtract the smaller value, right? So m2 minus m1. So m2 minus m1 जब आप करेंगे, without error quantities will be subtracted. जो without error quantities है, that means 20 और 30, ये without error values हैं, 2 values हैं. तो ये तो आपके पास automatically अगर subtraction दिया तो subtract होगी और addition दिया तो add होगी. But their absolute values will be added in also the case of the subtraction. But उनकी जो absolute values होंगी, जैसे 0.2 और 0.4 हैं, ये आपके पास नहीं होंगी, ये subtract नहीं होंगी, right? So m2 minus m1 अगर आप calculate करेंगे तो हमारे पास आएगा 30 minus 20, 30 minus 20 that will be 10 plus minus 0.4 minus 0.2 that is 0.2, right? So likewise we can do the many more examples related to the addition and subtraction, right? Now we will move to the third and the fourth rule. So third and the fourth rule says that when two quantities are multiplied or divided, the relative error in the results is the sum of the relative error in the multipliers. So obviously whenever we are multiplying or dividing the two quantities with their error values, so उनका जो absolute errors या relative values of those quantities will be added, right? How it happens? Like it is given to, if xy, if we multiply two quantities without error, that is the x into y, and we will get the final result z, right? So somehow we get there is an absolute error in x quantity is delta x, in y quantity is delta y. If these two individual quantities getting some error, obviously result will be affected. That means final result will have some value of the errors. That means delta z will be error in the final result, right? So we can write down the equation like z x plus delta x, y plus delta y. In this equation we are just adding those values, and z plus delta z. Now what will we do? We will multiply these two brackets and we will get xy plus xy delta y, y delta x plus delta x delta y. Because absolute error are very smaller values, that's why the product of these smaller values will be ignored, right? So very small values will be ignored. That means we will ignore the product of the delta x and the delta y, right? So we will only have z plus delta z, xy, x delta y and y delta x. Now what is the value of the xy? That is z. So if we place the value of the xy here, so z of the both side will be cancelled out and we will only have delta z will be equals to the x del y plus y del x, right? Now what will we do? This will be treated as the equation number 1. Now if we divide equation number 1 by z, right? So if we divide equation number 1 by z, so delta both side, so delta z upon z, right, equals to x delta y upon z, and z can be written as the product of the x into y from the very first equation, very initial equation, plus y delta x upon z, and z can be written as x into y. So how can we write down the equation like x will be cancelled and from the second term y will be cancelled. So if we arrange the equation, we can write down delta z upon z equals to delta x upon x plus delta y upon y, right? That means if we are having the product of the two quantities, so their relative values will be added together, right? Similar rule will be applicable for the division also. So we are not doing the expression for the division. You can just check out it from your NCERT book, right? For the both, expression is same and the expression is somehow little different, but the final result is same, right? So similarly, if z equals to x upon y, and we have to write down the relative value, and we have to add the relative, we have to combine the relative value in the both quantities. So how can we write down? Delta z over del z, relative error in z will be equals to relative value in x, relative error in x, that is delta x upon x, and this division sign will be converted into the plus sign and we will get delta y over y. Then this will be the next result, right, for the division. So for the multiplication and the division we are having the same we can say result for the both operations, and for addition and subtraction we are having the same result, right? So now we can have the next and the fifth rule, that is the power rule. So if any of the quantity having some power, then how we will just convert that value into the form of the relative error. So now children, we will have the last rule for the combination of error, that is the relative error in a physical quantity is raised to the power k in the individual quantities. So how will we write down that quantity in terms of the relative error? So if we are having the term like z equals to a to the power k, that means when we raise the power of a up to the k, then the final result you will get the z. Now we have to write down this value into the relative error form. So how will we write down? So delta z over z will be equals to this power will be multiplied with the quantity like k into, and this quantity can be written as in terms of the relative error, that is delta a over a. So that will be the result of the quantity whenever any of the quantity having its power, any power raised to it, right? Now we will understand it by one example given here. So here the question is written, a physical quantity z is given by, z equals to a square b cube divided by c to the power 4. Calculate the relative error in z. So you have to calculate the relative error in z. So total, whenever we are just calculating this quantity and we are writing the value of the z in terms of the relative error, so we have to apply here the different rules. That means we have to apply the rules of the power, rules of the multiplication and rule of the division. So one by one we will apply the rules. So likewise we can write down here z equals to a square b cube upon c to the power 4. So we'll write down the quantity z in terms of the relative error. So we'll write down delta z over z equals to, now the last rule says that if any power is raised to the any term, so power will be multiplied and that value can be written as in terms of the relative error, that is delta a upon d, right? Now there is a product sign in between a and b quantities, so this product sign will be converted into the terms of the positive, right, in the very third and fourth rule, according to the third and fourth rule, third rule. Now this quantity is again according to the fifth rule, that means power will be multiplied and that value can be written as in terms of the relative error, right? Now all the quantities is divided by the c to the power 4, that means there is a divide sign. Now by the rule this divide sign is also converted into the plus sign, and again we will apply the last fifth rule, that means 4 will be multiplied and there will be delta c over c, right? So this is the term of, this is the form of the relative error of z. Now this relative error, according to the very first lecture, this relative error can be converted into the percentage error also. If we multiply both sides by the 100, then that will give us the percentage error in z, percentage error in a, percentage error in b, percentage error in c. Likewise we are having one more numerical that is very important to you all for the examination. Now what is given to you in the question? Suppose P is a quantity related to the a cube b square divided by under root c into d, right? Now given, and the given values are percentage error in a, percentage error in b, percentage error in c, percentage error in d. Now percentage error in a is given to 1%, percentage error in b is given to the 3%, percentage error in c is given to the 4%, and last percentage error in d is given to the 2%, right? Now what you have to calculate, you have to calculate what is the percentage error in the quantity, what is the percentage error in p, what is the total percentage error in p, right? Now to calculate the percentage error, the very first step is that whenever we are just converting any of the quantity into the percentage error, very first we have to know their relative error values. So when we multiply relative error by the 100%, then we can that values will be converted into the percentage error. Likewise, very first what will we do? We will convert this value p in terms of the relative error according to the likewise very first example. Like p will be equals to the a cube b square, p equals to a cube b square upon under root c into d, and under root c into d can be written as c to the power 1 by 2 and d to the power 1 by 2. Then now we can write down here relative error in p will be equals to, now very first term we will solve a cube, that means we will apply the very last rule, that is the power rule. So 3 will be multiplied and delta a upon a, plus now this there is a product sign in between a and b, so that product sign will convert it into the plus, so 2 delta b upon b. Now the divide sign is there, so this will be converted into the plus sign. Now c to the power 1 by 2, that means 1 by 2 delta c upon c, and there will be product sign in between c and d, so that will be converted into the plus, and we will have 1 by 2 delta d upon d. Then so that values, all values are converted into the power relative error form. Now what will we do in the next step? To convert that values into the percentage error, we will multiply both sides by the 100%. If we multiply both sides by the 100%, then what will happen? So delta p upon p into 100 equals to, now 100 will be multiplied by the each term, 3 delta a upon a into 100 plus 2 delta b upon b into 100 plus 1 by 2 delta c upon c into 100 plus 1 by 2 delta d upon d into 100. Now this is the relative error in p multiplied by the 100, that means this will give us the percentage error in p, equals to 3 will be remain as it is. This is the relative error in a multiplied by the 100, so that will give us the percentage error in a, plus 2 will be remain as it is because this is the numerical multiplication. So delta b upon b gives us the relative error in b multiplied by the 100 will gives us the value of the percentage error in b, plus 1 by 2 will remain as it is. Now delta c upon c multiplied by the 100, that will gives us the value in the percentage error in c. Likewise the last term 1 by 2 percentage error in d. Now from the above question we can have the values of the percentage error in a, b, c and d. So we will place all the values. So 3 into, what is the percentage error in a? Percentage error in a is 1%. Plus 2 into percentage error in b, that is 3%. Plus 1 by 2 percentage error in c is 4%. And plus 1 by 2 percentage error in d is the 2%. So 3% plus 6% plus 2% plus 1%. So what is the final result? 6 plus 9, 9 plus 2, 11 and 1, 12%. So what is the total percentage error in p? That is total, there will be total 12% error in term in the quantity, physical quantity p. So this is the most important type of the question for the 5 marks, for the 3 marks question for the examination, right? So this is all about the combination of errors. Now we will start the last term, that is the significant figure and the rounding off of the rule, right?